Nice. Perfect. What are you guys saying? Welcome back to Carefree Lewis G. Welcome back. Oh, we're about to get... Oh, there we go. What's going on, guys? What's everyone saying? Welcome back to Carefree Lewis G. Welcome back to another live stream. And it's the morning after... Well, not the morning after. It's the morning for me with my messed up sleeping pad. It's the day after the night before. Leicester City 2, Chelsea 0. We kind of all predicted this was happening, but we all didn't want to see it happen either. And here we are. We got absolutely outclassed by Leicester City for 90 minutes. Threw the game away in 6 minutes with the early goal, which was literally the last thing you want to do against a team that sits deep. And now there's more and more pressure heaping on Frank Lampard. And to be honest, I think this is the straw that's finally broken the camel's back. Rumours have been circulating throughout the last 24 hours that Frank Lampard's job is up for grabs. Apparently, there's managers who are now angling for Frank Lampard's job already because they can smell the blood in the water and they can already tell that it's only a matter of time. Now, here's the thing for me. If it is only a matter of time, why am I hearing rumours now that Frank Lampard could be given another few weeks? Because look how tight the Premier League campaign is, and also look how many times we failed to capitalise on other teams dropping points. The more we keep doing this, the more we keep beating a dead horse, and the more we keep moving towards something that we know isn't going anywhere, the more we get ourselves further and further away from, forget being title contenders, even a top 4 race right now. If we continue to play like this, is looking absolutely dreadful. But I'm not going to go into it too much because we still got a whole hour to go through this. I'm going to go through the panel first. Monster, first off, how's the last 24 hours been?
It's been tough, man. It's not been easy. I've had bad. I don't know. I was sweating like mad last night. I don't even know what to say because you know what it's like. It's hard it being Frank Lampard as well. Like it just makes it kind of worse as well. But yeah, man, I'm pretty sure I'm feeling the same as every other Chelsea fan, innit? It's just horrible.
Yeah, it's been another rough 24 hours. I was really hoping we could have something that could at least give us something to go off, because the big thing about this game was that we're facing another top 6 side. And people say Leicester ain't traditional top 6. Leicester are a top 6 side. It's about time you start giving them the credit they deserve. And we were going into this game thinking it was big, not just in terms of the table, not just in terms of the last few games going into it, but it's about the mentality, and it's about how long are we going to keep struggling against teams bigger than us before it becomes something that hangs over the top of our heads every single time we face them. And now we've got past the halfway point of the season. This is going to be the only thing that people talk about whenever we face a top 6 side for the rest of the second half of the season. We got Spurs coming up in a few weeks. We got Southampton, who I think are still in the top 6 right now. We got them in a few weeks as well. Then Atletico Madrid and Manchester United in the same week. Everton and Leeds United the week after that. That's another 5 games in 15 days. Now, let's be real. I said I wanted to give Lampard at the latest until the Spurs game, because that's at the very least where I can see whether he's going to change things up or if he's just going to be stubborn. And also because the games after that are absolutely chaotic. And if we don't sort ourselves out now, we are pissed when it goes to that next round of games. But Bitmus, chat to me, man. What are your thoughts, bro?
Well, honestly, I mean, as you know, I've been Lampard in till the end of the season for quite some while now. And I mean, I think it's a bit of a gamble. I mean, we know we need to get him out, but it also could be a gamble. I mean, it could be worse if we get a caretaker manager to come and sit in for the rest of the season. It could backfire, but I mean, most of the times when we do replace our managers when we're struggling, we always do good. So I think we should go for it, maybe before it's too late. But at the end of the day, if we can sit and handle this for the entire season and let Lampard just stay until the season over, I don't want to sound like, I mean, you know, off his head. If it was not Frank Lampard, definitely with the situation, probably we would be like, yo, get him out. But the respect of Frank is the reason why most people are not really, I mean, deep down they know he needs to go, but the love for Frank is keeping him in. But if we look at it logical, it's not working out, bro. He has no tactic. You get me? It's the same type of football. And yes, Sarri was stuck in his way, but we could at least see Sarri's tactics, like it's working and it's gonna work if he had stayed. You get me? The only reason why we struggled under Sarri because we didn't have a striker. Morata was flopping, Giroud wasn't scoring, Bashrai wasn't scoring. Higuain only came in and scored like maybe 4 goals. So if we had a better striker under Sarri that season, we would have destroyed the Premier League.
Yeah, and you were touching on a big point as well with Frank Lampard. And half the reason why we're giving him all this time is because it's Frank Lampard. Kai, this goes perfectly into you, and that's basically our biggest weakness right now: the fact that we don't want to be this harsh because it is Frank Lampard.
I mean, one thing, Vitamos, I don't know you that well, man, but if we keep him, he might win the league, man, the championship, because we might get there, man, because we're going down that table so fast, man. And that's the only league he's gonna win. No, man, I am done giving him opportunities. If he hasn't changed for the last 2 months, why would he change now? You know, and I think he has broken his relationship with the players. Every chance he gets, the players didn't do this. The players didn't do the basic. The players da. It reminds me of Mourinho, man. He is literally Mourinho without the tactical knowledge, man. That's what he is to me now. And he plays a little bit of a better football, but at the same time, I don't see what's the point of keeping him. If somebody can give me an argument why we should keep him and be objective rather than tell me I feel, because I really don't care for therapy sessions right now. Tell me why and give me reasoning why, and I would gladly debate that with you. But so far, all I've been seeing is worse football, regression, players unhappy, him disrespecting the players. The players obviously are not happy. And you know what? When you go to work and you don't love doing your job, you're not gonna do a good job.
No,
And basically, that's where for me, that's where I draw the line.
No, but that's like the hardest part with trying to be Lampard in, because you sit there, there's no genuine reasons to be Lampard in. If someone came up to me right now and asked if it was any of you lot, why would you want Lampard to stay? Because he's Frank Lampard. Maybe if he turns things around in a few years, it will look good. But that's in a few years. We already know with the mentality that we've built over the last 15, 20 years, we aren't going to wait 5 years. The board aren't going to wait 5 years. Roman Abramovich isn't going to wait 5 years. This question, I'm going to drop it to the entire panel. Monster, first off with you. If Lampard stays till the end of the season, where do you genuinely see Chelsea finishing?
Do you know what's mad? It's obviously everyone's heard me say I want Lampard to stay till the end of the season, because I'm not really about sacking managers midway through the season. But if I'm being honestly and just forget sentiment and just use straight logic, he probably is not getting top 6 if he stays to the end of the season.
Yeah.
It's nothing's working. Nothing. I know a lot of people say, give him time, trust the process, blah, 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 blah. Do you actually think with the way those players are playing right now, can you see anything that would tell you these players are going to start to perform? You can't galvanize these players. I'm not saying it's not necessarily his fault. I don't think the players even know what they're doing. I don't know if they're buying into his plan. I don't know what it is, but there's something not right there. I don't know. If the players don't fit the way he wants to play, I don't want to make this. I'm not a Mason Mount hater or anything. I think he's been our most consistent player this season. But if you look at that midfield, with the way Lampard plays his 4-3-3, it suits only Mount. It doesn't suit anyone else in our midfield throughout the squad. Do you get what I mean? The 4-3-3 doesn't suit Kai Havertz. It doesn't suit Kante. Probably it's not going to suit Billy Gilmore. It doesn't suit Jorginho. It doesn't suit Kovacic. It doesn't suit anyone but Mount. So essentially, we're getting the best out of Mount, but we're bottlenecking everyone else.
That's the thing as well. So why are we persisting with the same formation when we know it's not getting the best results? So even the last 15 minutes, the last 2 games, we've been experimenting with a 4-4-2. And even when we switch that, it's come to positive results, but we still go back to the 4-3-3 every single match.
Was it really a 4-4-2? Because even with the 4-4-2, we were playing the same way we played the 4-3-3, where we're just trying to cross and hope for Allah to give us blessing, man. That's the whole process, the whole game. And you know what? I disagree with Monster, because I do think it is his fault. He is the one who got those players, took away their confidence, played them in the wrong positions, keep dissing them in the media, telling him, like the day before the match, telling the Daily Mail, I don't have the assist machine or the goal scoring machine in the team for me to challenge. After the match, saying, we're not ready to challenge yet. So what are we ready to do, Lampard? Be behind Aston Villa with 4 games in hand. Be behind Southampton. Be behind Everton. Be behind Aston Villa. He is just now finding excuses to keep himself in the job. And if anybody in this football club cares and wants Chelsea to be at the standards where they belong should say, thank you, Frank Lampard, but you either leave or we will terminate your contract. Because this is ridiculous. We've given you the chances. The only person who you're getting the best out of is at Mount, and you're doing that on the basis that everybody else doesn't get. I don't think we're even getting 20% of the potential of our players at the moment, because they look unhappy, man. And when you're unhappy, nobody can change it. And respect goes both ways. If you don't respect people, they're not going to respect you back. And that's what's going on at Chelsea right now. I just see it as a lack of respect from Lampard to the player and to the players to Lampard.
But here's the thing. If we really want to get rid of Frank Lampard, we're at the halfway point of the season. Why haven't we already done it?
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
but also
they were giving him time.
solutions as well, no?
They were giving him time. They were giving him that chance to turn things around.
No, I respect that until now. But it's like, all right, now Leicester City, this really was meant to be massive in terms of the importance of the season, in terms of Frank Lampard's seriousness as a manager, in terms of the players, because the players would have gone into this game knowing how important it was for Frank Lampard. They would have known that his job was on the line. They would have known there's a lot of pressure on him. The way they played today, the way they played against Leicester City, you would have thought that was a friendly match.
Yeah,
I mean, especially going to... Go on.
Also,
why would they care, Lewis? Why would they care? If every time he has the chance, he just digs them out. Why would they care what happens to him?
One thing I would
Same
say,
thing with why?
I'm not necessarily going to blame Lampard because he didn't have Kante, but that midfield that was fielded was shocking, and we were always going to get beat with that midfield. You essentially played three, two. You could say two central midfielders with one attacking midfielder. There was nothing defensively from that midfield that would have worked. Nothing to protect the back four. Our defense didn't help as well. Mendy's not to blame for any of those goals, if you ask me.
No. Mendy kept the scoreline decent.
Yeah, I think he had a very good game, but the midfield was horrendous. It was horrendous. There was all types of space in there, and I don't blame the midfielders because none of them are defensive midfielders. Obviously, we are missing Kante. To be honest, Jorginho might have been a little better. Billy Gilmour might have been a little better as well, but even Billy Gilmour, he did get exposed by those Leicester midfielders last season as well. It's just I don't know. Like it's bad. It could get worse if Lampard's still here. Unfortunately, I really wish he could have turned it around, but I can't see because he's so stubborn. He doesn't want to just. I don't know. I just feel like it's my way or the highway with him. It's very Jose Mourinho-esque. It's a toxic trait he's inherited from Mourinho.
Yeah, minus the trophy, those, and the experience and the tactical ability, man.
Yeah.
It's not very useful though, is it?
Because one thing is in the Premier League, if something's not working, there has to be some kind of flexibility there. There has to be. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to be out of your job. And Lampard doesn't want to. He doesn't want to change things up. So I'm not surprised. I'm shocked he even played was that a 4-3-3 yesterday?
Yeah, that was a 4-3-3. Yeah, Mason Mount wasn't deep enough either. I was thinking the only way that formation would have worked was if Mason Mount dropped deep as well with Kovacic.
I was absolutely shocked seeing a 4-3-3 yesterday. I was like, wow, he actually is really persistent with his formation.
Exactly that. And like we even went and played it without a natural DM for this game, and that didn't make sense to me. Like I was okay with the rotation because I didn't want to see Jorginho play anyway, but go on, what are you saying? Oh no, Vitmus must have frozen. What?
Honestly, are you hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, bro.
Yeah, with the situation, if I was Frank Lampard yesterday without a natural defensive midfielder, I would have packed my midfield I wouldn't left Kovacic on his own to play that position, knowing that he's not a defender. You get me? Lewis, you say you would want Jorginho to play, but I think Jorginho and Kovacic would have been the better pairing in that midfield right there. You should have played Jorginho. You get me? That was our only chance
this season for me to be confident with it, though.
No, but
I don't
come
know.
on.
I don't know.
Bro,
yeah, a good manager wouldn't have put in a CM as a lone CDM. He would have changed the system in order to have at least a pairing of two players to defend,
that's the
and just go a bit advanced. But he was he just does the same thing and includes Mount in it and build a team after he put Mount in there, which is a mistake. When you build a team, you put everybody. You don't put one
Bro,
player and just build stuff
Do you
around
man
it.
remember the Everton
doesn't work.
game? Do you lot remember the Everton game? We had no wingers, but we
My
played a
God,
formation
man.
with wingers.
Yeah.
We had Andrew in as our only winger on the bench, and then we went and put Tammy Abraham at right wing for the half of the second half.
You know what it's like, Lewis? It's like a 12-year-old trying to play Football Manager, man, and he doesn't know how to change, like how to move the positions aside, and he just like changes the player based on the templates. That's basically what Lampard is doing, man, and it's not working.
That's the thing. Like you said it perfectly, Monster, about 10 minutes ago. This formation doesn't suit half of the players that we start with it every single week, but we still persist with it every single week, expecting the same results. We all know what the definition of insanity is, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
Here we
Trying
are.
the same thing, expecting something else to happen, man.
And
But-
here exactly we are.
And that's my main argument of why should we give him more time, based on what? If he would come to me and be like, if I was Roman, he would come to me and he would like, Roman, please give me more time. I'm like, okay, give me some types of documents or some kind of proof. If I give you time, you're gonna reward me with something. What are you gonna tell me? He's like, I promise you, I'll do better. That's not enough. How are you gonna do better? Because he's been saying every day, I'll fix it. I'm the right man. I'm the right man. He's been saying that since Everton. Since Everton, we're just getting worse. At least in Everton, we lost like what was it like 1-0 or something?
Yeah, Everton was the most decent result of the lot.
Now
because
people
at
are just
least they
slapping us
competed with
around.
no winger.
They don't even. It's not even a challenge. If it was a competition, like if we were actually competing, we're not even competing, Lewis. They're just slapping us about, man. 2-0 against Leicester first half. Same thing with City, 3-0 the first half. What's the point? What's the point of keeping him? What are we gonna gain?
That's the
You
thing
know?
I'm seeing. Like teams are just wiping us out early as well. You said
Just
those
free
two
fall.
games, the Arsenal game as well. Granted, they were two set pieces, but they were still 2-0 up at half time. And we were playing like bums.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not organized in attack. We don't counter attack. Terry was reading the stats difference between the way Tuchel teams and Lampard team plays, and apparently Lampard's team averaged 2 counter attacks a game.
Yeah, I was listening
are
to
you
Terry
serious?
before we even started this stream. And Tuchel sounds miles ahead of anything that Frank Lampard would give us
No,
right now.
I said to all the
only
English fans,
scored 2
if you give Tuchel a chance, you will see this guy is serious,
We've
man. He
only
is
scored
good. He's
2
a good
goals.
manager, man.
This season, we've only scored 2 goals from counter attacks. Just 2.
Yeah, I think I can memorize them. One was have been the third goal against Southampton. What was the other one?
Erno was directly involved in both, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, the other one was the Leeds one, the third goal from that game.
It probably
I
was.
don't remember any ones that were counter attacks.
Probably was. So those are those because I know
honestly-
it's only 2 we've scored this season from counter attack. It's just bad football. It's
Yeah, and-
boring. It's remember the whole when Lampard came in, he was going to play this exciting, free flowing, attacking football.
But he tried it last season. It didn't look too bad.
But then
I
the
know,
question-
but that was
people
last
always-
season. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
last season, but
Hold on, people always ask
now
the
teams
question-
figured it out. It doesn't
people
work anymore,
always
so I have
ask
to
the
change it.
question That is, even Lampard's football last season, was that Lampard's football? Was that like an imprint from Sarri's football the season before, which Lampard kind of carried on because majority of the players he played with, or in fact, not majority, all the players he played with were Sarri players, right? Except
Yeah.
Mount, Abraham, and Pulisic.
Yeah. I remember with Pulisic, sorry, didn't even recognize him before when he first joined.
When he
No,
first
he
joined.
wasn't-
Yeah,
he
but
wasn't-
that's
he was
I
at
said
Dortmund.
that the club makes the
Sarri-
signing.
He
Man.
wasn't a Sarri player.
But you know what's really
Sarri
funny?
was only a placeholder. Like from that
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
we could already tell he was only here for the first year. But that's a question I wanted to ask you lot as
Yeah.
well. Like low key, and I'm not saying this is like the exact plan from Roman Abramovich, but do you think with the way we were going into the 1920 season, Frank Lampard was really just here as a placeholder manager?
Yeah,
We were going
I think-
around a bit because it did work in the first season. He looked very promising, and everyone was thinking to give him the second season based off that anyway. No one had issues with that. But with the way the second season come around, it should also be easier to get rid of Frank Lampard as a result of that as well. So do you think we were really bringing in Frank Lampard as something for a long-term plan for the next 4 or 5 years? Or do you think it was something that we were willing to attempt with because of we really didn't have a lot of options at the time? But really and truly, if he wasn't going to work, he was just going to take the flak for it and leave.
If I'm honest, I think Lampard was a PR move. And let's be honest, you can't be like, oh, but he promised him 3 years. Nobody in any type of work, especially at Chelsea, don't just get 3 years. Just use it as you will. That's not how that works. That's not how Chelsea Football Club works. And this is probably going to be the only season where we haven't averaged the trophy in, every 2 years for the last 5-6 years, which is insane. But you know what? I think Lampard was here since the Sarri season was toxic or whatever. So he was there to like juvenize the fans and make them all happy and stuff. But I don't think Lampard and the board expected like the fans to be this attached to Lampard. I think they were expecting that as soon as he does something bad, they can move him. That's why they're offering.
I think they're a bit stupid if they really and truly thought that, because
but they think like businessmen. Businessmen are not as emotional. Businessmen are not as emotional as football fans. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but it's like two different extremes at that point. If you really think that the fans are just going to turn on Lampard the first time.
Well, you got like a little civil war going on Twitter, innit? Well, the Lampard in it versus Lampard out.
Quite a lot of people want Lampard out at the moment, man.
They're just going back.
I'm not surprised. Like with the form it speaks, and to be honest, the one thing I'm happy with is like the one thing I'm glad with the fan base is that we do want him out, and that we aren't sitting there just hopping on, just saying yes, it's Frank Lampard. I'm willing to give him 5 years and see what happens. There are some fans thinking that, but I'm actually glad the vast majority aren't thinking that. And we're using the same energy that was going with Maurizio Sarri, because that's the one thing we need: a consistent mindset. Why would we say no to a better manager?
I have never seen a manager worse. That's why it's for me. I have never seen a manager worse, and the stats prove it. The only worst manager we have was Mourinho 15-16, as far as like 19 games in, and that was when the players were throwing him under the bus, and he won the league the year before that. Like we never had a manager worse under Roman. So objectively, he is the worst manager we ever had. Objectively, on average win rate, like average points, he's the worst we ever had. And if you look at it objectively, and I understand it's Frank Lampard, this is not sustainable. We're just floating around, going like sliding downhill. It's not sustainable.
Yeah, Kai is right in a sense. If you do look at it in terms of, because even with AVB, the players did revolt. They wanted him out. Ironically, Lampard was one of those players. Do you know what I mean? But they revolted and wanted him out.
The job was too soon for him, he said. I saw today that quote.
Mourinho, the same thing, wanted him out. I think it was Conte, the same thing as well, if I'm not wrong. Did certain players not play for him?
I know he had issues with the Brazilian players. Like David Luiz barely played that season. Willian, you could just clearly see it towards the end with the Southampton sub in the semi-final and the stuff in the FA Cup final too. But other than that, I didn't really see anything too much with the rest of the players. And actually, no, Eden Hazard had issues with him as well. That was probably what was it.
Yeah, but Eden Hazard issues weren't as like visible as the issues now. Like
I
want to stop playing false nine with him, and we still kept doing it.
The thing was with the thing is with Lampard is that I said it yesterday. Like, if he can't galvanize these players and get them to get something out of this game, they're not gonna do anything past this. I'm sure they knew this was his job on the line with these games, so they should have been able to do something, but they still ain't done anything. They still ain't do nothing. I don't even. Do I want to say they're not trying? I know I've been saying they're not trying, but it just doesn't look like they're buying into his system, or
they don't
either
care.
That, or they're just lost in his system. They don't know what they're doing.
Bro, they probably looked at him and said, "Look, you have been managing for 2 years. You can't even get a PE degree in 2 years, man. You need 4." It's like, we're not listening to you, man. Like, we had better managers than you. Who are you to tell me that I shouldn't play here and he should play here? And they probably see like the way he reacts, or the way he always praises Mount. And he rarely praises other players, not as much as he would praise other players. And they're probably being like, hey, look, man, we are busting our asses and we never get anything from you but complaints. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's issues
don't have
with
the old guard as well.
Yeah.
Like, remember back in the Villas-Boas days, and surprise, Lampard was there as well, which is really ironic. But remember back in the Villas-Boas days when like the players would literally go and ignore Villas-Boas' tactics if he didn't think they were working. Now, I remember JT or Frank Lampard saying there was this one game where they were playing a really high line. No, they were playing a really deep line for no reason, and they were really struggling through the game. And Terry and Lampard basically told the rest of the team, push forward, ignore whatever the manager's saying. They end up getting a result at the end of it because of that.
You know what's funny? If John Terry and Lampard and all of those guys were playing for modern day Lampard, they would have done the exact same thing. And they would have got him sacked the same way, man. And if you deny that, then you haven't been watching Chelsea back then, man.
No, reality, man.
The same thing to him, man.
The core of the team, like Lampard, Terry, and them guys, man. Of course, any manager that we didn't like, they would just stop playing, and they would just like, maybe they could call Roman and say, "Hey, get this guy out. We're not gonna play, or we're gonna leave the club, or whatever." Bro, remember, as I said, I've been watching Chelsea for years, man. Normally, when a manager when the team is reacting the way we are playing right now, it's coming down to the sack, bro. It's getting there. I don't care if he was promised 3 years. He's gonna get sacked, bro. I don't want him to get sacked. I want him to be successful at the club, but it's not working, and I definitely see the knife coming.
Yeah,
It's
So that's
sharp.
the thing. We all want it to work, but we all literally can't see anything. Like, forget asking what the process is. What's the identity of this team?
No,
Like,
I
what
want
do
him.
we do? What's our identity? What do we try and do game in and game out that can work other
Bro,
than
we don't have an identity,
He doesn't
bro.
try, man. I want him to work, but I don't want him to work on the expense of Chelsea going backwards. I don't care who the
Exactly.
manager is. I care about Chelsea doing well.
Chelsea,
And
yeah.
if you're not a good enough manager, I'm not gonna give you the benefit of the doubt if you're not giving me the benefit of the doubt. So he what is he doing for me to be like, hey, look, he's doing a good. Even his tactics are boring to watch. The football is not good. All we do, you know those things. Look, we have those games like in the old computer where you have the ball and you go like from the
Limbo.
sides. Yeah, that's our football, man. That's literally our football.
That is literally it between the centre backs, and then
Yeah.
maybe we'll hit a long ball out to Tammy, or we'll hit a long ball out to Chilwell, and that's literally it. But that don't really make. That's all we brought Rudiger into the team the last 2 games for. Long balls.
Jesus.
Like, it wasn't for defensive ability. He looked a bit shaky in the Fulham game. He looked very shaky in this game today. I put him mostly at fault for the second goal. A lot of people are trying to scapegoat Reece James for it. Like,
Yeah.
Rudiger didn't run out for 30 yards to go and get a 50-50 that Havertz already claimed.
You know, it'd be funny if he stays.
No. We're not scapegoating players, but we've spoken about the manager. We still.
You know
got
what?
to
It's
talk
funny
about the players
if in a
before,
season, Kurt Zuma is gonna be loaned down to Inter Milan with an option to buy, and Lampard is gonna be in a press conference saying the same thing as he said with Tamuri. He still have like a future at
But
Chelsea.
this is the thing. This is the only flexibility I've seen in the side, and that we've changed the centre back. So one thing that we've been happy about is our
and
is our starting.
it's the one
back
thing that we
four.
shouldn't
No
even be
one's had any
changing.
problems with our starting back 4, right?
Yeah. We shouldn't be changing it. It was working fine. But
Exactly. Like, Kurt Zuma complements Thiago Silva perfectly. Yes, he's shaky on the ball as well. So is Rudiger. So is Christensen to an extent as well. But I prefer Kurt Zuma a lot less to the pair of them when it comes to it. I don't think he's as shaky, especially next to a Thiago Silva. So why am I now hearing that Antonio Rudiger is now being preferred as a centre-back to Kurt Zuma?
you know what it
No
looks like to me? It looks
offence
like
against
to me
Rudiger,
that he's
but
trying
a
to
great
get sacked
squad
himself.
player, and that's it. I don't want to see him starting week in and week out. I know what he's about. He's not a capable defender week in and week out.
Spaghetti legs, man. He's spaghetti legs. You can't keep
Yeah,
stay
there's
on his
more
legs.
mistakes in him than Zuma and Christensen combined. So why did we start him over the pair of them?
Because he has issues with Zuma, probably. I'm almost sure that he developed some issues with Zuma. Because I don't see any other reason why wouldn't you play Zuma for two straight games when he was amazing for you the whole season.
That's the thing. Like, his stats, I think some of his stats have been better than Thiago Silva's stats this season. And yeah, he's the one that's been benched. If we're talking about improvement, he's one of the most improved players for me.
Yeah. No, I think people who expected Lampard to be sacked today, it's not going to happen. It's probably going to happen at the end of the week. Still a lot of things to be sorted. They're not just going to be like, hey, you announce his sacking. They probably already know the decision they want to take, but I don't think that they.
Yeah, but do you remember the Leicester game? Like, the Leicester game was the same time the day before Mourinho got sacked, and by this time, the next day, Mourinho was gone. Like, Mourinho was a quick one.
Yeah, but also Roman was in the country as well. Roman was in the country as well.
Yeah, but it was how much of a difference is that going to make? If we're being
imagine if he fires him by Zoom, Jesus Christ, that's disrespectful, man.
I mean, the way we've been playing with Roman's £250 million spent, I wouldn't be surprised if he sacked him through Zoom.
Jesus.
Yeah,
if we're being real about
it. I'm not sure what's really gonna. I don't see Lampard getting sacked even by the end of the week, bro. I think if we go on to beat Luton and Wolves, and it might just stretch his chances of continuing till the end of the season, because.
Then we will be playing the championship.
I mean, if we look at it, Louis said it earlier, the table is not even that far from us, with points. We just need to win a few games and we're back in it. But every time we get a chance to capitalize on teams dropping points, we fail. So I'm lost for words, bro. I want Lampard to be the manager, bro, but it's gonna set us back years. And
He's not gonna be. He's not. He's the worst manager I've seen at Chelsea, man. Like we are so badly managed. It's not. It's sometimes like you watch it, like you forget you're a Chelsea fan, and it's funny how bad we are, like how unorganized we are.
yeah,
And then you remember, oh shit, that's my team, man. Like if you see like the gaps in the midfield from the to the attack, Jesus Christ, man. Like I said on the monster stream, you can put like a Persian war elephant through that midfield, man, and nobody would notice it, man.
yeah, but
That's a lack of
the
cohesion.
formation. Yeah,
Now
what
go
is
on,
the
Vince, go on.
The formation, bro. The way the team set up, bro. It's that's caused the gaps in the team. This man doesn't want to play 4-2-3-1. He wants to play 4-3-3, where Havertz or Kovacic is far on the right side trying to help the winger or the wing back, and on the left side Mount is linking up with Pulisic or whoever is out there, and that only leaves one person in the middle. So if we lose the ball, we're open to a counter right away because there's no one in the midfield. You get me? The wing backs are already pushed, try to put the ball in the box for a cross. You get me? It's only the two centre backs and Conte or some whoever is out there at the time. So it's 3 against 5. Look how the way Leicester counter us. I mean, if Mendy was not keeping good yesterday, we could have lost the game by even 5 goals, bro. Because each time we lost the ball in an attacking position,
Now look at the difference how
open.
both teams moved the ball. We had 65% possession, no shots on target. I think. We had a shot on target in the game, right?
Yeah.
I don't think which shot. I think we just
had one. I think we had one. We had one.
I remember
shot.
Hudson-Odoi hit the side netting, and like that's it.
That's not considered as a target, though. Did you see Did you see what Redknapp said about that? About that one shot that Odoi had and he missed.
We talk about Jamie Redknapp.
Jamie Redknapp, yeah.
Jamie Redknapp did the exact same thing Lampard did and blamed all the players and said give the manager more time. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the fact they're related, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah,
They're their cousins.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, no wonder. But like, that's why I'm not taking his opinion seriously because he's biased.
What kills me the most, though? What kills me the most is like literally we have a team that's begging for nice counter-pressing football, and instead what we do is like we don't even use their pace. We just try to cross.
That's the thing. Like, look at the amount of players getting absolutely slandered, and it's not deserved. Mason Mount's getting made to look like a bum. Werner's getting made to look like a bum. Havertz is getting made to look like a bum. I'm hearing Thiago Silva slander the last few weeks. And yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say. Some players are to blame as well. This is not 100% on Frank Lampard. And I do want to turn this conversation to that as well. Let's talk about some of the way the players are moving, because is this another game where players are ignoring instructions, or what is it? What is it? Because this is definitely not completely the manager that's at fault.
The manager is at fault for me. Like 70 or like 85% of it has to be the manager, bro. Same. Last season, Christian Pulisic was our best attacking winger, and he was being benched, and Mount was being played as a winger when Pulisic was our best winger last season. This season, yesterday's match, Pulisic again, he's not in form. You put Odoi on the right.
But it's another one where he has to drop deep to try and collect the ball because we conceded in 6 minutes.
Yeah, but look at this. Ziyech has been good. He's not been excellent, but he has been better than Pulisic. And he was benched yesterday, which Pulisic should have been benched, and Ziyech play on the right, and Odoi go on the left. Lampard, I have to blame Lampard, bro, because even at the start of the season, everyone was playing so good, but they were being benched. We had 2 excellent games from I don't remember some of the players, but they were playing excellent. We won 2 games in a row. Then the third game, they were on the bench. Lampard, I don't know, bro. I can't even say it, man. It's stupidness, bro. You can't do that. If something is working properly, you don't need to change it. You get me? How are we benching Ziyech when he's playing better than Pulisic? When last season Pulisic was playing all like on fire, dribbling past 4 or 5 Liverpool players, but he was still on the bench. It's coming on in 10 minutes. Forcing to play Mount as a winger, bro.
All regressed massively. All our players regressed massively.
And I think you've just exposed that is again going back to the manager as well. So you can't even give the players any sort of stick on this too. It is all just the manager.
Also,
It
we
was
had a
just
so
unhappy.
hard
I
trying
honestly
to
think
defend
just
Frank
very
Lampard
unhappy.
over the last few weeks. Like I've just been Lampard middle to try and keep the peace. But if I'm gonna be real in my head, I want a new manager too. Like I want a new manager as well. It is what it is. I said I'd give him to the Spurs game. I don't see anything, and I see if we even hold him to the Spurs game, we might drop more points. Like Wolves, I'm fucking frightened for that Wolves
Southampton
game.
away
I don't
as well
care
is
if we're
not.
at
It's
home.
very, very difficult as far as counter attacks.
Southampton's bad until we have Atletico away, United at home, Leeds away, and Everton at home as the next 4 games after that.
Yeah.
Then you're not even thinking about Southampton.
If I was the club, looking at it, there's an FA Cup, an easy FA Cup tie like coming up.
This is the perfect
I
time
could get
to
a new
do it.
manager, and you can like start like practicing his style, you know.
Like deep it is.
Also,
The Wolves
experiment.
game's on Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in about a week.
Yeah, bro, do it now, please.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Also,
saying. Like we have so
manager
much
as well.
time to just practice and
This is the right time to do it. Like, if we do it midway through that awful run, then I don't even know what to expect for the next few games because we want to talk about new manager bounce. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, someone saying no. It's a thing. I hate to say it, but look at the recent form, man, and tell me you can defend this. Tell me that you could give me a reason to defend Lampard because I've been struggling to do it for the last 4 weeks. So go on in the comment section. Anyone that can give us a reason. Hell, if you're Lampard in, I'll send you the link. Like DM me on Twitter. If you're Lampard in, I'll send you the link and you can come back it because
Well, you know
really
what
and
hurts
truly,
me?
I've got no reasons to back him anymore. I
You
can't
know
do
what
it.
hurts me?
What?
Some of the fans, they're like, give Lampard time, trust the process, bro. We have had.
My man's lagged out again.
Vitmus, you've lagged
We're
out.
not
Do me a
giving
favor.
time.
Switch your camera off. Switch your camera off. You might get a better connection.
Also, manager
Who's that, me?
to be
Yeah. Yeah, try now.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Go on.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
calm,
I'm
calm.
saying. Most of the fans, like, not really most, maybe at least 40% of the fans or 35% of the fans keep saying, trust the process, trust the process. Bro, we have had better managers in the past with way better tactics than Lampard that weren't given time, with some of those same fans were saying, yo, get him out, give him the sack him. Bro, it makes no sense, bro. Lampard has nothing to offer to the club. Yeah, you get me, with worse squads. Bro, the only thing Lampard can do, as I don't think it was Monster who said it earlier, but I don't remember who exactly said it. But Lampard just came in to fill that tide, to give the fans hope again, to make everyone jump and say, oh yes, give us some love, give us something to talk about. You get me? He's not there to take us where we want to be. You get me?
Luckily for me, I have enough love, man. I don't need Lampard to give me love. I need to give me wins.
Lampard having an IQ of 150. Is that even a fact? And what does that have to do with?
Yeah, but that's irrelevant. You can be an amazing, intelligent person, but you can't be a good manager.
Yeah,
you know, like a lot of this.
What does that have to do with his managerial skills? What does that have to do with his managerial skills?
Yeah.
Just because
it doesn't,
smart
it's
doesn't mean
just
you're good
another
with people,
fact that
man.
makes you feel good about him.
I think
Thanks for
also
the donation, bro. Ozzy. So, how do you expect players to be motivated when performance isn't enough to guarantee playing time? If never played, that affects the entire team. I think he said if never played. Yeah, how do you expect players to be motivated like a Callum Hudson-Odoi when you're probably still the best winger in a team that's done nothing creatively for most of the games, so you're still getting substituted off? Like we didn't. Here's the maddest thing: we didn't even use all 3 of our subs, and we were never winning that game. And we had what? 4 defensive substitutions ready. We had an entire back 4 ready to jump on the pitch for what? Like that didn't make any sense to me. Like, cool, you could say there's injuries in the squad or whatever you want to say. You're telling me you couldn't have given the spot to Angerin if we really needed another winger. Like, credit to Hakim Ziyech, but he came in too little, too late to really do anything in the match. Timo Werner, I don't mind. Substitution, I'll give credit. To be honest, worked. And I still don't know how that goal he scored was offside, but I'm not going to sit here and moan too much about it. But we didn't have a third substitution we could bring on anyway. Oh, wait, what's that? Is that a private chat?
Don't read it out. Don't read it out.
Don't read it out, man.
What Kai put in the...
Yeah, I'm a
Don't read it out. Don't read it out.
One still.
Lewis, it's
Oh
definitely
my
not Lewis.
God.
People are creative, man.
I'm saying Jan and Nini are still back in Lampard. I might need to watch their videos and see what
But I
excuse.
think also back in Lampard now. Sacking Lampard now would be perfect because there's manager bounces as well. Like we saw it with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he came in. Like these men are playing some nice foot. We saw it with Arteta when they came in. There's always that manager bounce because the players just perform better. Because normally it's after you get rid of a manager you don't like. So they're like, I like this manager, it's refreshing now. So we're gonna get that manager bounce. And we need that because we got Atletico Madrid. Like Champions League round of 16 against Atletico Madrid. That's no joke. That's no match to give players confidence. That's a match where everyone has to be switched on, counter attacks. So now would be perfect as well if we get him in before the Luton game as well. That's a nice, easy Luton game where he can put in his style. And then he's got Wolves as well on Wednesday. So it's not like you've got him straight after. So yeah, I think now would be perfect, and it's also midway through the season, so it's not too early to do it because we've already seen it's halfway through the season. It's not gonna, and if we leave it too late, then it's gonna ruin our season. So I think now
We can still get top 4. If we get a new
Oh,
manager, we can still get
definitely.
top 4.
That's why I still want to do it. Low key, I'd say it quietly.
but if we keep him, we're not getting top 4.
Really did a good job.
Because remember what people told me.
That contention race.
Whenever
That's
we
what
were
I
at-
wanted from the start of the season anyway. We have a squad for it. That
Whenever
squad
we
is
went
capable.
whenever we went against Everton, people were like, "Oh, we're only 3 points from top 4. Now we're about to be 9," and it's like, "We're only 9 points from top 4. We should still give him a chance." I'm like, "Nah, man. If we're giving him a chance, we're giving someone a chance to get top 4. We're giving someone else."
Bro, if
'Cause
Man
we used to
United
be like
win
only
tonight
3 points, and now we're
against
almost 9. No, man.
Yeah, if Man United win tonight against Fulham, I think, what is it? They'll be 13 points clear of us.
Yeah, Liverpool as well would be like 10. I think 10.
And they're in crisis season right now, and they hate their manager as well. But they're going to be 13 points ahead of us. Like, we really need to sit down and assess what we're doing with the season. Because right now, we're playing so badly, we're starting to question our own players. And we say we have one of the best squads in the league, and now we're saying our players are bummy. Nah.
I've always said I will not judge any one of those new players. A new manager came in. Monster can vouch for that.
Yeah,
I will not blame any of those new players because it's not fair to have world class players and have like a manager from Derby lead them and then blame them.
And
Bro,
I think
I'm not gonna do that.
I think as well if Nagelsmann or who is it, Tuchel came in, they're both German as well, so they could help getting the best out of Werner and Havertz. So yeah,
It's the man with so much charisma, man.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
It
Well,
can't be because of that.
I mean,
Nah. Monster, did you watch this?
I didn't watch the full video, but a lot of
Man is he's
blame
radical guy.
I mean, he did put some blame on Lampard. But a lot of the blame was kind of on our midfield, which understandable. Like the midfield was trash. I think we all before the game, once we saw that midfield, we all know we were getting pammed. You get what I mean? But a lot of the people, they don't want to. I don't know, because maybe they have a relationship with the club. They don't want to be critical of Frank Lampard. You know what I mean? It's just mad. It's mad. I don't know, innit? I don't know. They don't want to be critical of Frank Lampard. They want to back him all the way. Some of these guys, they'll back him until the club. Even if the club get relegated, they will still stick with him. So I personally, I don't take.
It's all fake, fam.
No, I'm not going to say too much on what Nini said because I need to watch it myself before I check it out. Yeah. But I will be back here streaming later because I'm going to do player ratings on this channel later on as well. So check that out once all the football's done. But thanks again for the donation. What's he saying? Why does it feel like some Chelsea fans' channels avoid speaking the obvious truth? Are they trying to be close to the club by playing PR? Great panel. I can't speak on Blues Fans TV on that because we have slandered Frank Lampard for this form. I have, personally, so that definitely isn't me. And I've been Frank Lampard middle for the longest. Do you think some Chelsea fans' channels are avoiding speaking the obvious truth? Like, we don't need to name anybody unless you really want to do it. But for the most part, I think... Not for the most part, I think most of them have been critical of the manager. Like, you can't not be at this point. Kai, you think there's people that haven't?
Daniel, he said like he'd rather win an FA Cup with Lampard than win a Premier League or a Champions League with another manager. Stupid comment. And then you also have Nini, who says if we finish 5th, he'll still back him. Very stupid comment. We also have Jan, who said Lampard is Chelsea, even though Lampard is 41 and Chelsea like 100 and something years old. Very stupid comment again. I can go through stupid comments the whole day, man. There's a lot of stupid comments going around the Chelsea fan base, man, by Chelsea YouTubers. But
I must
It
just
is what
be
it is,
ignorant
man.
as hell because the ones
Bro.
I've been checking haven't been saying it. Although to be honest, maybe you're saying people I just haven't really watched too regularly. We
You know
got
what?
Right.
Do you know what it is?
Kai. Oh, sorry. Go on, Monster. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, do you know what it is? So one of the reasons why, before I wasn't even doing YouTube videos. I would just go on the football terrace and just do what I was doing from how long I've been on there, innit? But one of the reasons why I did start my own channel was that I just felt like a lot of the bigger channels weren't being honest when it came to Frank Lampard. They weren't being as transparent as they was with other managers, and I thought it was just so unfair in a way. It's like, come on, when he's doing wrong, you can't blame him, but you would literally crucify the likes of they crucify the likes of Jorginho, they crucify Kovacic, I'd over and over and over again. If other certain players don't make, they don't play well, they have a bad game, you won't hear a criticism. It's, oh, he's young, he's learning, blah blah, which is true, but it's like there's no consistency in their criticism, and I feel like it's very unfair, innit? And that's the issue with some of these guys. I just feel like they're so unfair in their criticism. At the end of the day, all these players are Chelsea players. I hear people saying, "Oh, but Sarri we should have gotten rid of Sarri because he's not a Chelsea man." I'm like, what the hell does that mean? What does it mean?
I hated 18-19 following Chelsea. It was so fucking annoying.
The match going fans were shocking when it came to Sarri as well. And now, with Lampard, as much as we love Lampard, we all want him to succeed and things like that. We can all see it. It's right there in front of us. It's not working. He's not performing to the standard we all hoped he would. We know why as well. He's inexperienced. He might not know what he's doing, innit? Sometimes it just gets like that, innit? Sometimes some people, they just have the big tools that are big club, big corporation, but the job is just too big for a minute. And it's a shame, but Lampard.
It's a shame, but there's nothing wrong with it. Because here's the thing, like, if Lampard got sacked in an hour's time, I still don't think it tarnishes his legacy in any way. I don't think anyone here would think the same thing either.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah, like it won't have any impact on him if he leaves. We're still going to look at him as one of the greatest players to ever play for our club. Like we've already said, he's left the club in such a good position for whoever walks into the club next, depending on if it suits the team, obviously. But if you get the right man, he's left him in an excellent place for them. It's nothing too bad, but if the only thing that would potentially harm his legacy is if you keep him here for longer, when it's clear to nearly everybody that this just isn't working right now.
Yeah.
Well, look,
it's like that guest who stayed too long, It's just like, just leave, man. Just come on.
Exactly that. Go on, Ryan. What were you wanting to say?
Like, we'll look back on Lampard and in, like, say maybe a year or two's time, and then say we sit in a good position because this is a good squad, a manager who can come in, and say we don't go back to that pragmatic football, which has put a lot of people behind the ball and play on the counter. Then we get a good manager. We'll look at Lampard and be like, "Gosh, top 4 in the first season. It wasn't pretty, but we got there in the end." And he got us some good youth players and some good players who are balling out now. So I don't want him to stay too long because he's gonna ruin it for himself.
Exactly that. Sadiq as well. We haven't introduced you yet. By the way, Worldwide Chelsea. Like, subscribe. Links in the title now as well for him as well. But what's your thoughts, Sadiq? Chat to me.
Bruv, I know you lot probably not fans of Allegri, but I'm gonna back him on it still, and I'll tell you why. I'm kind of tired of this project football, this nonsense, because the players here just don't have that mentality, man. We're used to this counter-attacking football, winning football. End of the day, people remember the results, man. They don't care about performances, man. We can't be like Pep or anything like that at Chelsea. Realistically, we can't. Look at the players that we have now. We still got the dead word. No one's changing.
No,
There's
like,
no point
that's
going and signing these managers.
Who are the deadwood?
Yeah, but
Alonso on them, man. But one thing is, even with the deadwood.
Wait, isn't Alonso sold already? Isn't he already leaving? He's still here.
He's still here.
Apparently, he's meant to be leaving.
he's still here. Everyone's still here, fam. Everyone's on loan.
Jorginho's still here.
Everyone's here.
Kepa's still here. If you look at ones on loan as well, like they'll go on for ages. But go on, Monster.
That's what I'm saying.
Players are in your squad until you sell them, you've got to make do and get the best out of them. Unfortunately, it's just how the game goes, isn't it? Like, let's not act like every other manager, barring Frank Lampard, has not gotten the best out of all these players. These players never looked as shocking as they did under Lampard. Alonso was bad. He was worse under Lampard. Kepa, he was actually quite good under Sarri. Shocking under Lampard. Christensen was decent under what's his name? Conte. Shocking under Lampard. Who else? Rudiger. Good under Sarri and Conte. Shocking under Lampard.
Spaghetti legs under Lampard.
We go to the new buyers. Kai Havertz. You saw him last season. Shocking under Lampard. Timo Werner. Good last season. Shocking under Lampard.
Ziyech.
But quick one. If a new manager comes in, yeah, is it goodbye youth?
Who?
Depending on the manager as well, but ruthlessness, I don't care. Like, if they're good enough to play for Chelsea, they will play for Chelsea.
You know what, Lewis?
Who's good
one thing about
Tuchel?
Tuchel is very good with youth, man. He's the one who made Dembele and Pulisic. He's the one who developed them. He's gonna develop
he had
to
to
be one of
do
the
that
best in the world.
because all of his best players were getting sold every single season. So I do believe you on that.
He's gonna use it. He's gonna use it.
Ex-players are against Tuchel though. Ex-players against Tuchel. Like Thiago Silva talking about how he was in training. That like we have to be realistic. Behind the scenes, a lot goes behind the scenes.
You just want
to
be honest,
who isn't going to beef with PSG's board? Like Thiago Silva had his own issues with him, and he's professional as hell.
The thing is, whatever manager Chelsea bring in, they have to, lay out a plan with this manager because they're going to be interviewing so many guys. So they're probably going to lay on the table, okay, we spend whatever we spend in the academy. We expect every year or every 2 years, a certain amount of academy graduates have to get into this team, innit? That has to be part of the plan. Yeah, go on.
Go on. Yeah, finish. Sorry.
That has to be part of the plan. Otherwise, it's a waste of money spending how much we spend on the academy, innit? And I'm sure that is going to be part of the plan. They're going to tell them some youth have to be implemented into this team as time goes on while you are manager, innit? So hopefully, whoever the manager is, because they're looking at these young German managers as well, and it looks like those managers want to, they play.
Already reporting that Lampard's fighting to save his Chelsea job. Someone's just put it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for that as well.
I've got it here. I'll put on the show.
Let me say something to you guys, bro. I don't mind youths coming into the team. It's okay if they're up to the standard of making the squad. It's fine. But look at this: when we won the with Antonio Conte, how many youths was in the team playing? When we won the league with Mourinho, 14 or something like that, how many youths were playing? When we won the league,
got like 1 or 2 games, but
bro, and I respect having the youths in the team, but Chelsea is not based on youth performance.
Yeah, it's not Southampton, man.
That's not us, bro. As much as we'd love to have youths in the team, bro, we are not like that. Liverpool won the league last season. How many youths played in that first 11?
Wow, Julian Nagelsmann. They say Julian Nagelsmann's the top candidate
in
Lampard's stats.
Bro, with youths, I mean, if they're playing well, out of all the youths we have now, there's only 2 youths I would put in my 18-man squad for a game, and it's Timor.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And what's his name? Mason Mount.
Reece James.
Reece James is in the 11. Sorry, he's a starter. But I mean, like, to put in the actual squad for the game.
What about Tammy?
Nah.
Man, just shut up.
I know you don't rate him. I know you're trolling with that one. It's not. I don't think Tammy's a bad player. I do think he's.
I rate Slender, man. I rate him, man.
I don't think he's necessarily a starter. I think he's a squad player, a good squad player.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't think he's the guy to lead the line.
Isn't his contract running out though?
Huh?
Isn't his contract running out and he's refusing to?
Yeah, long term.
I think they extended it by 1 year or something.
1 year.
It was automatic clause in there that if he had gotten
like, what does he want, man? Like, does he want 250,000 a week? What?
I think he wants game time as well, but it's going to be very difficult. So
Tommy can go on in a brother. I don't care.
If Chelsea get Haaland, it will be very, very difficult.
Yeah. But quick question.
He's gonna say it's either me or Haaland. That's what he's gonna say. He's gonna give Chelsea that ultimatum.
Yo, you lot, quick question, yeah. if we bring in Tuchel, which is most likely going to happen, you're telling me there's not going to be beef after 1 year? He's going to be like Conte Mourinho, where there's going to be beef with the ball.
He'll demand,
go back
he'll
again.
demand signings, but I think he also demanded signings at Dortmund because, like we already said, he was losing signings.
And he's gonna get signings at Chelsea, so I don't think he's gonna.
I think that would be the case with Allegri. I think Allegri might do well for 1 or 2 seasons, even could possibly win a league. You never know. But I think by the first season, because of the way he plays, the system in which he plays, the pragmatic mid to low block approach, the players might be like, we don't want to play this type of football anymore.
Bro,
do you know what I mean?
If we get
But
Allegri,
he's changed it up. He's changed it up at different teams, though. Are you not telling me that he's not the exact same?
Sadiq, if we got Allegri, man, I'm gonna do all the house chores, man. I'm gonna be painting my house, washing dishes.
Come on, man.
That football is not worth watching, man. Because you're gonna do it like you're gonna be multitasking because the football is so dreadful. No, man. Didn't we have enough of that under Conte, though?
Clubs, man. He ain't been the same at every club that he's been at.
So you're telling me he's gonna be like at Chelsea? He's gonna start attacking when at Juventus. He was defensive. Well, there you go, dude.
That's the thing, though. We also we can't have a defensive manager because we will lose a couple of our signings that we've already had. And Roman isn't going to be looking to make losses. We already know we will lose Hakim Ziyech if we play defensive football. He isn't going to stay through that. He likes enjoying his football. That's half the reason why he came to Chelsea in the first place, because Lampard sold him something that he liked the sound of. That's not going to happen if we go and bring in an Allegri. We bring in somebody defensive. We will lose Hakim Ziyech. So that's another factor you have to take in. And if you're going to say whether that's okay, depending on what the squad would be like afterwards, that's the question in itself. But Roman Abramovich, will he be willing to make that sort of loss on a player that he's only recently signed? I don't think so.
No manager's going to last here longer than 3 years. G. You have to be realistic.
No, but we're looking to make a project, and even if Lampard fails, that doesn't mean we're not going to stop trying to find managers that could make a
trust
project.
The process,
That's what we tried with Antonio Conte as well before the issues with the board happened. We've been trying to be more sustainable since we won the Champions League, and part of that is creating a project and a manager who could create a dynasty at the club, and that's what Chelsea have been trying to do for years now.
I really do think that the next manager will be German. I don't think it's going to be an Italian.
It definitely is.
Probably.
But German football is nice, man. Like look at how Klopp plays, man. Tuchel have similar style to Klopp.
It's on the fact that we're not going to play like that, man. We're not going to get to that level, man.
Sadiq, why are you so pessimistic, man? Have some charisma and happiness.
Wait, let Monster finish.
I'm realistic, man. I'm not gonna sell you like dreams. Bro. Like it's not gonna happen.
Instead, you give us nightmares, man, with Allegri, man.
Go on, Monster.
I think whoever we hire from now on has to be some kind of a mirrored image to what Lampard's playing. It's got to be an attacking style of football. That's why I say it's got to be like. I wish it could be an Ancelotti. It's got to be a Nagelsmann. It's got to be a Ten Hag. It's got to be a Luis Enrique type, even Tuchel. It's got to be even him because he plays that similar type of football. I know there's reservations with Tuchel because of his issues with previous boards at every club he's played at, but it has to be those type of managers. We can't go back to because this is the reason why Chelsea have failed over the years is when we're trying to implement attacking football, we've then gone back to low block defensive football, and it's worked for 1 year or 2 years, but then the next year it didn't work. Do you get what I mean? Like when Hazard and that came in, we bought all these attacking players to play attacking football, and then we went to Mourinho. Look, we won the league, fair enough. Then look at how it all blew up the next season. And then we went to Antonio Conte, we won the league, and then it blew up the next season. So if you want to, it's either we want to play defensive or we want to play attacking. Right now, I think.
But why did Conte blow up? The
players didn't buy into his system anymore.
And plus, he was.
Nah, man, he gave up because he didn't get the signings in the second season.
Yeah, but some of the guys that were always
his fault as well, dude.
We were second. We were second in January.
Months after winning the league, and he couldn't be contacted.
Oh yeah, part of it was obviously he wanted Van Dijk, he wanted Alexandro and people like that. But the players that were there already, they didn't want to play for him anymore. Willian, David Luiz, I'm pretty sure Hazard didn't want to play for him either. There was a lot of the guys.
Yeah.
So
and Hazard said before the World Cup, they knew he was going. He was already going.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, but he didn't leave. That's the thing. Courtois left. Courtois left instead, and you know, Hazard made it look bad on Courtois because Courtois went and Hazard decided to stay next season just because the club told him they want to get rid of Conte. If Conte had stayed that season, Hazard wouldn't have been
Sarri persuaded
that
to
season.
Yeah,
He would
Hazard
have
would
been
have
out
left.
with
Hazard
Courtois.
would have left already. So
Hazard
Conte
would
was
have
another
left.
one where it was calm.
Yeah.
I thought Sarri persuaded him to stay at the start of the season. Or not.
Sorry,
Even Hazard, no, he wanted to leave to go to Real Madrid straight after the World Cup, but he allowed Chelsea one more season. But he was going to go at that point anyway.
Yeah, we just didn't.
Yeah.
We just didn't.
We
have
had
it.
so
Chelsea-
much dead wood around him. It was annoying.
I don't blame him. Look at the trash he had to play with.
We straight
Yeah,
up
Willian.
rejected any bid for him.
Don't
Say that
disrespect Bakayoko and that, man.
Even, do you know what? Even in saying Bakayoko, yeah, as much as right now, I feel like we might have been better off just using him right now. We are
Sure.
desperately.
Kaya was the biggest fan of him. Kaya loved him.
I know that sounds mad.
Bakayoko. You remember this? What song did he have? Forgot the song, man.
I know that sounds
forget
mad, yeah,
the song. I don't want to hear it again.
I know that sounds mad,
It's mad.
but
They changed the name to
yesterday's
it always
game-
loses the ball.
Yesterday's game, someone like a Bakayoko was desperately needed. If I'm being honest with you, he was desperately needed. We needed a defensive midfielder. Right now, I feel like we only have one defensive midfielder.
Monster, you got Zara clothing behind you, like the whole line.
Oh no, it's just jackets, man. It's cold.
Yeah.
Aye, but as a final question to the panel, then, I think now I actually already asked.
That's
two,
what the
but
midfield is lacking, though. We need
Go on.
someone.
Oh,
connection
you like that
bugged
again?
out.
Oh, damn it! For fuck's
Go on,
sake!
continue, Lewis, bro.
All right, final question for the panel
was
before we wrap this up. When is the latest that you think Frank Lampard can last in the job before
Saying
we're at a
that
point of no
we need-
return?
Tottenham.
You Tottenham as well. Okay, cool. Monster, you
It's probably yeah. How many games till Tottenham game?
about
Really?
3 games.
Three.
Yeah, then it will probably like latest. It will be
Wolves. I
Tottenham.
think Wolves.
Tottenham.
Okay, so you'd give him the Luton game and potentially the Wolves game then.
The Luton game, like even if like they should win that one anyway.
Yeah, Luton. It's another like Morecambe where it's like if you don't lose, just get out.
Imagine
Who
if we
we
lose
got?
to
We got
Luton. He said the
Luton.
players don't know the basics.
Who we got? Luton,
man.
Wolves, Burnley. We got Burnley.
Yeah, in the
Dying,
space of a week. Like we've got games every 3 to
Yeah.
4 days now.
But didn't Matt Law
Their
said he's
team
got? We only have he only has until Wolves.
Yeah,
was that?
for me,
Or am I imagining, man?
No, I
Same
said
here.
I wanted to give him till the Tottenham game. Now I'm not even sure if I want to do that because if we lose our next 2 league games, don't even chat about a top 4 race.
I think they're gonna. I think the latest he's gonna go is before Wolves. I think he might get the Luton game if like the new manager hasn't came in yet. But I think by then he would have known he's gonna go, and they might give him the Luton game to leave on good terms. But yeah, I think they're just gonna be looking for managers now, and if they don't,
They're gonna
find
make
him
him resign.
Yeah,
They're gonna make him resign.
You're trusting
Yeah.
Indy.
You think that? Oh, you think they'll do that?
Yeah, because there's gonna be
Case for
bare
contract
backlash,
or
man.
what?
There's gonna be bare backlash.
Will there even be that much
Yeah, them
backlash
not
at this point? Like, there's no
them
fans
not
at
want
ground
people
as
to
well.
say that.
One grand banner, bro. 1,000
Yeah, there's one
banner.
banner, and you might not even see it at this rate. I mean, that's the biggest factor as well. If you're going to talk to me about the protest if Frank Lampard gets sacked, you would have only seen that in the ground if fans were there. There's no fans. You can't have protests outside the ground like when Jose Mourinho got sacked both times because of social distancing. So really and truly, if you want to sack Frank Lampard, you're very lucky that we're in a pandemic and it's the perfect time to do it. Because if anyone's going to complain, it's online. And most of the online fans want him out anyway. So are we really doing this for the fans?
You know what? All the club has to do is just close the curtains and put the Twitter channel on mute, man. That's it. You're done. You know, it's like digitalization, man. You don't have to worry about any
I
of
don't
that
give a shit. If we get a new manager in and we win our next 2 or 3 games, who's going to moan?
I'd be happy, man. Yeah.
You're going to still say, oh, we want Frank Lampard back. We've won back-to-back games for the first time since November, and you're going to still scream Lampard. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. But
All right,
we need
any
a man.
final thoughts, guys, before we wrap this one up?
Let's go through the panel. Who do you want as a manager if we sack him? On the last question.
I mean, Tuchel's looking like the most viable alternative. So for right now,
I
I'm
would
going
love him,
Thomas Tuchel. And the more I'm researching up about this guy, the more I'm actually warming up to this too. So yeah, I would go for Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, Monster.
So what was the question again? Sorry.
Next
Who would you
manager,
go for
who do you
manager?
want?
Typical monster, man.
It's so tough. So many guys out there. Who would I prefer
one.
though?
Arsene Wenger.
Oh, yeah, did you see that as well? Did you see that as well?
Yeah, I had a fucking heart attack hearing that fucking Arsene Wenger coming back.
Bring in an interim and give me Ancelotti or Luis Enrique.
Who's an interim?
Who do I want as an interim?
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Just bring in an interim, maybe Benitez.
Oh,
No,
Benitez back. Oh my goodness!
I don't
You know
mind.
how pissed
I
them
don't
your
mind.
fans would be. You sack Lampard and bring Benitez back. Oh my goodness!
Benitez is a better manager though. Like you
No,
saw.
nothing against the idea. Like I warmed up a bit more to him after you won the Europa League. I don't give a shit what anybody.
I didn't. I
says.
still hate
look
his
at
ass.
trophies.
All the managers we seem to disrespect take us to third place and win a Europa League. We disrespected Benitez, yeah, because he managed Liverpool, which is so stupid. Like, what does that have to do?
But Benitez football is crap as well.
It's not though. It's
It
not
is.
crap. It's not.
It is. It's defensive as hell, man.
No. His
Yes.
football's.
I mean, if we end up keeping clean sheets, I ain't gonna say shit. You know.
No,
You know what I mean? He's a better manager.
That's what I
He's a
mean.
better-
Results matter in the end, fam. You don't know. Are you gonna care about performance that much?
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't give
Yes.
a damn.
he's a
You,
No, man.
you will, yeah, you will, but not everyone.
If we're gonna get Benitez, just keep Lampard, man. This is how bad I don't want Benitez.
No, but Benitez is a better manager. I feel like people
Yeah, I know he's a bit, bro. More than half of the manager.
See, that's
in
why I
the league
don't
are
want
better than,
fucking
than
Barkley
Lampard. It's not
back.
that hard though.
Why?
What-
What
That's
happened?
why I'm watching the Man City Villa game. Awful decision making again. You remember? Oh no one was here from the panel at that time. We got to the point where I was streaming for so long. I'm hearing people say, maybe we should bring back Ross Barkley. You know, shut up, man. Absolutely, I'll never hear Ross
Kaya
Barkley
said that as
in my
well. Kaya
life.
said that as well.
You mad?
Barkley, never, man.
Well,
No,
That's
bro.
the problem with
I just saw another
Ross
bit of bad
Barkley.
decision
Yeah,
making.
bro.
But Vitmus, go on. What about for you,
Ross
new
the boss.
manager? Vitmus, can
Who are
you
you
answer?
asking, sorry?
Huh?
New manager.
What-
What's
what-
your thoughts? Who do you want to see?
What was the question?
Who's the next manager that you'd want to see
Oh,
if Lampard gets
honestly,
sacked?
bro. If Lampard
He's
gets
lagging.
sacked, I'm not a big fan of. Tuchel is good, but I want a manager that can come and like build some structure. To me, Tuchel is just like maybe a next year again and year and a half, and he'll be gone. I think Allegri. I'll more to give Allegri a chance because he can build a proper system at the club. Apart Tuchel is just short term again, bro. I'd say.
Respect.
Allegri,
Respect.
okay. Who else
Bro,
have we
come
got?
on.
Ryan, you
Experienced
dropped the
manager.
question, so I'm going to ask you as well.
I'm gonna be honest. I want to get an interim through because I feel like we should get an interim to just steady the season up and just try to get top 4, which was the minimum we expected at the start of the season, and then like review our options after the season's done, and then we can look at maybe buying out an Ancelotti or a Hassan Hutel or a Nagelsmann. So yeah, I'm not entirely convinced with Tuchel. I think he'll be better than Lampard, but I'm still not entirely convinced with him. But I think we should get an interim, maybe get Gus back or something.
Oh man.
All right, cool. Is there anyone else who haven't? Sadiq,
No.
you said your thoughts, right?
Lampard for assistant
For
manager.
me, Tuchel, man. Tuchel and no interims, man. I'm not betting on us like, getting Champions League or not based on an interim, man. If Hiddink comes again and he reminds me that we are 10th for the rest of the season, no thanks, man. I get it. We had a bad season. I know, man. No interims. Just get a manager on a short-term deal. If he doesn't get a top 4, replace him. If he does, keep him. That's it.
I just want
Simple as.
Allegri with like Steve Holland or Zola or something again. That's it.
Man.
That's
Let's
it.
say Tuchel comes in. My concern is will Tuchel
With the
end up
hockey
being
football,
another
man.
yes man, like second stint Mourinho once we have this honeymoon period and ended up like Lampard? What? Will Tuchel be another yes man, like second stint Mourinho once we have this honeymoon period, which I think is basically talking about the new manager bounce?
Mourinho,
And
yes,
will he
man.
end up like Lampard? No, at the very least, Tuchel has experience, so you can kind of figure out what he's going to be like as a manager. Frank Lampard, you're really just making a guess with him because you haven't seen him last more than a year at another club, and we've only seen him last year at Derby. So you really can't tell what Lampard's going to do, but you can tell the type of manager Tuchel's going to be. And that's the same thing you could do with all sorts of managers, which is why we're so high on fire, because you can tell what their patterns of managing are going to be like. Anyone else want to add anything to that?
Mourinho is never a yes man. I don't know what Mourinho this guy was watching, man. When has Mourinho ever been? Literally, he gets sacked because he's not a yes man. That's literally the main reason why he gets sacked. Because he never says yes to anybody.
Man United, he ended up losing his favour with the board because he wanted more signings after failing with the team that finished second. Chelsea, we've already known all the problems that he had with the signings going into 15-16 season. Us having a post-season after the winning the Premier League title, which is one of the main reasons why we struggled in 15-16 as well. So, yeah, you are right. Jose is a yes man. Not really heard that anyway. But Fata, thank you for the donation, though. It is massively appreciated. But guys, this is the end of the morning after the night before, at least the morning after for me with my fucked up sleeping pattern. But big up to the rest of the panel for jumping on as well. We will be back in a few hours for player ratings straight after all the football from tonight. So guys, check it out. And you lot want to jump on as well, I'll send you the link. Just let me know. But check out Monster, Vitmus, and Worldwide Chelsea's channels. They're all in the title below. So literally just click on their names. It'll send you straight to their channels. Ryan and Kaio as well. Links are in the pinned tweet, in the pinned comment in the comment section below. So check out the links to their channel as well. As Fata sent another donation. Sadiq, stop texting me WhatsApp. Okay, Sadiq, that one's just for you, G. I'm saying stop texting me. But yeah, Fata, 10 o'clock as well for player ratings. But guys, I've been Carefree Lewis G. Not really been feeling so carefree over the last few weeks, but it is what it is. Maybe we'll have a new manager by Luton, maybe not, but we'll have to wait and see. I'll see you lot in a couple hours. Until then, take care and up the Chelsea.